Now, you're watching Wave 3 News Listens Live.
And it is a celebration.
With your host, John Ramsey.
And welcome to the weekend. Welcome to Feel Good Friday here on Wave 3 Listens Live. We've got a full show today, lots of good information, and a couple of ways where you can help. Here we go. Mortensen Family Dental is here, and Mortensen is going to tell you about how you can get a nice, beautiful, pretty smile and help children at the same time. It's called Smiles for Life, and we'll tell you all about it. Elder Advisors is here. Don't go broke in a nursing home. This is a fear that a lot of folks have, and we're going to talk about how you can, there's just a lot of moving parts when it comes to a transition either to a senior living facility, perhaps you're wanting to keep mom and dad at home. All of that is possible with Elder Advisors. Denise Manicky-Ice is with me now. Denise, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And also, Nancy Galloway is back with us. She is with Senior Helpers. Hello, Nancy. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Doing very well. Okay. Denise, we don't have our buddy Larry with us today.
I know, too bad.
But you can tell folks, Elder Advisors there's so many moving parts when it comes to either transitioning into a senior living facility,
right,
or taking care of mom, dad, grandmother, grandfather in their elder years. And you guys handle all of it. Estate planning, asset protection, Medicare, Medicaid, that kind of thing.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about it in your words when you talk to folks about Elder Advisors. What do you tell them?
Well, I tell people that usually they think of us mainly just about nursing homes, which is true. We can help people going into a nursing home, and I always tell them, like, look, we can help you protect your assets going into long-term care. You don't have to go broke in a nursing home. Everyone thinks that that's the case. They have to spend everything they've ever owned, and then they'll qualify for benefits. But that's how we can step in and help regarding nursing homes. But people don't think about the pre-planning that Elder Advisors can help you with, and how we can help you when maybe you're not quite ready for a nursing home, but you need a little home health care. You're at home, but you need someone to come in and help you out, or you're in an assisted living and you need a little bit of help, some home health care. And we can help you that way as well. There's different benefits that we can help you with. And that's where Nancy from Senior Helpers, she can help us. That we work with people like her.
Yeah, the tentacles reach out, and you guys tend to, whether it be with Steve Langdon, who's an attorney, or whether it be with folks like Nancy, you reach out and get the very best in each of their specialized fields.
Absolutely.
That's what I think is interesting. When Larry talks about Elder Advisors, he says, I always want to surround myself with very smart people, with people who are experts, and that's where you come in there, Nancy. Okay, Nancy, tell me a little bit about Senior Helpers and what you do.
Senior Helpers is a non-medical home health care agency, so we have caregivers that can go into our clients' homes and help as little or as much as possible or as needed. Some clients we're with 24/7. We have clients that we're in and out just a few hours each day. We can help with things around the house as far as cooking, cleaning, transportation, medication reminders, all the way to personal care, which is more bathing, incontinence, transfers, things like that.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
So now I'm starting to understand the partnership. So Denise, tell me how the two of you work together. How exactly does this partnership work?
Well, it works in that Nancy, two different ways.
Okay.
Sometimes people will come directly to us for pre-planning or talk to us about their loved ones and explain that, they're not ready for long-term care, but that they're already paying quite a bit for home health care, whether they're already working with Senior Helpers or another agency, and we can kind of we have different benefits we can help get them that will help pay for those services. However, a lot of times they haven't found a home health care agency yet. They're just they're all trying to take care of mom or dad. A lot of times people, give up their lives working around the clock, taking shifts. Brothers, sisters are all taking turns providing 24-hour care. And we'll let them know that's not necessary. There are places like Senior Helpers that can help you, and we can help you pay for that. You don't have to worry about the cost because there's things we can do to help pay for those services so you can kind of go back to your own life. Still have mom and dad, but you're neglecting your own health when you're working and taking care of your parents 24 hours a day.
Okay, I know it's much more complex than this, but I think it's important to point out, when we talk about asset protection, bottom line is this: money in your pocket, money that you thought you had to spend, money that you don't need to spend if you know the rules, and that's where Elder Advisors comes in. Okay, so with this partnership here, so it sounds to me like you refer her business, but she may refer you business as well.
Yep.
Because a lot of times when seniors are at that point in their life, you know, they don't understand how to proceed. They don't understand exactly that there is estate planning, that there are options like senior helpers. What's some of the most common questions that you hear, Nancy, when a family approaches you? Because isn't it usually the family, the daughter, the son, who says, we want to step in and help?
Right, and sometimes they're already helping, like Denise mentioned, and they're overwhelmed, and it's so much because we're all so busy and we all have busy lives, and they're neglecting their own health and not taking care of themselves. And we can help, you know, we can take over the whole plan of care, or we can just help a little bit. But I mean, some of the questions they ask is, you know, how do I afford care? What steps do I take now if I think I'm going to need care in the future? How do I know when I have enough money to stay at home, or I need to think about transitioning into a nursing home or an assisted living? And what do the different options cost, you know? I mean, there's just a lot of questions and a lot of research, and we can help with that. We have resources like Elder Care Advisors and other resources to help them, you know, navigate all the questions and things that they're trying to figure out.
Okay, your field of expertise, Nancy, is really obvious to me, and I think it's interesting for those who haven't seen Denise on the show before. Denise, your background is really interesting because we talk about things you do not know.
Right.
You have a wealth of information in a specified field. Tell folks what you did prior to working with Elder Advisors.
I used to be a supervisor in the long-term care Medicaid department, where I saw families that were going into long-term care and they needed some help paying a $7,000 to $9,000 bill. And 9 out of 10 times I had to tell these people, you know, you're going to have to lose everything. You're going to have to spend everything you've saved your entire life up for. It has to be below $2,000. And you can't just spend it anywhere. Can't just give it to your grandkids. Can't help pay for your somebody to go to college or anything like that. Can't donate it all to the church. You have to spend it all at the nursing home. And then once you're essentially broke, then I could step in and try to offer some sort of help to pay that $7,000 to $9,000 bill.
So you knew about the rules, but you weren't allowed to tell.
Well, no, you're not allowed to give any type of financial advice when you're working for the state. The state's not looking for ways to pay benefits. These rules are out there. One thing I like to let people know, a lot of times people come to us and say, well, we know you guys know ways to hide money. We don't hide anything. These rules have been in place. They've been out there. People just aren't aware of them. Anything we do is disclosed to the state. But I just could never get, you know, these rules have to be executed correctly with the financial and legal component. And that's where Steve comes in from McNeely Stevenson.
Yes.
However, you can't really, it's way too hard to try to navigate it on your own. You could interpret things wrong. We know the laws, we know the rules. And I could never even tell somebody to call Elder Advisors. I couldn't tell them to call Steve Langdon. You just had to tell them, this is the criteria. You must be below $2,000. And to have less than $2,000, you have to spend that correctly, and that's spend it all at the nursing home.
Isn't it nice now, though, that you're on the side of the equation where you're coming up with answers and helping people put money in their own pocket? It's like you don't need to do it this way. There are ways, and you're not working the system, you're just telling them the rules.
Right, exactly. I was so miserable when by the time I finished up my tenure there, I was very depressed. I was sad because I heard so many heartbreaking stories. Every day somebody was crying, and I was called, you know, all sorts of names. It was a very depressing position. Now that I am on the other side of the desk and I'm able to tell people, did you know this rule has always been in place and this is how we can help you? And, you know, I'm actually bringing a smile to their face, and you can just see the relief come off of them. I mean, that is a wonderful feeling. It is a total 180 from my position before.
Yes, there are answers. Now, I have to admit, before we go to break here, I'm guilty of this. I think we all kind of live in a la-la land because you think, well, this won't happen to me, and we all I think we put aging in the back seat. You know, we say, oh, that's not going to happen to me. That's coming in the future.
Right.
So therefore, we don't really know the rules because we say it won't happen to us, but it's going to happen to everyone.
It's going to happen to everyone.
So the fact is, if you have the expertise of Elder Advisors and all the players that are involved, like Nancy here with Senior Helpers, they can help you come up with answers to protect your assets. Coming up in segment number 2, we're going to talk maybe about some programs you're not aware of. We'll talk more with Senior Helpers and Elder Advisors. Nancy Ice is here with us, as well as Nancy Galloway, as well as Denise Manicky Ice is with us. Okay, before we went to break here, we were talking about the way that you guys work together. Okay, and I also mentioned some programs that you may not be aware of. So if you would, if one of your senior loved ones is a veteran, family of a veteran? How does this work? Tell me about these veteran benefits, Nancy.
Yeah, there's several ways that we can help families figure out ways to help pay for care. One is if you're a veteran and or a surviving spouse of a veteran, which a lot of people don't realize that. There's two ways to get help and if you're a veteran and are looking for home care. One is there's a program through the VA hospital that they award hours to veterans that are need assistance at home, and the way you do that is just call your local wherever you go to the clinic, the local clinic that you go to, and ask to talk to a social worker and tell them that you've heard there's a benefit out there for home care for seniors, and they will help you get that process started. Another way is there's a pension called the Veterans Aid and Attendance Pension. It's been out there for a long time. A lot of people aren't aware that it's there. It's for veterans and their spouses and their surviving spouses, and especially a lot of people don't realize that, that surviving spouse piece. But it is a pension where you have to show that you have a need for care, you have to show that you have an expense for care, and then we know how to help veterans fill out that paperwork, get it turned in, and the monies come directly to the veteran to pay for care.
All right, interesting. So now, there's a lot of information here, obviously. So this is where we recommend workshops, because we have a couple coming up here on the 15th and 16th. That's Monday and Tuesday of next week. And information like this can be shared in question and answer session. Tell me about some of the topics that will be discussed at these two workshops.
Well, we're going to talk about different means of pre-planning, thinking ahead. Maybe when you're way, a nursing home is way down the road. You're maybe just retired or approaching retirement. You want to start thinking about some pre-planning. We're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss ways to protect your assets if you are going into a nursing home or your loved one is going into a nursing home soon. We're going to talk about things like power of attorneys and the importance of that. Steve Langdon, the attorney from McNeely Stevenson, will be speaking, and we'll be answering any questions anybody has. And then we always have a follow-up personal appointment day after that, where someone actually gets to sit around a table with me, Larry, and Steve Langdon and have an hour of time devoted to them and their personal needs.
I like that. Nancy, I think a lot of it it's the unknown factor, and a lot of what you do with Senior Helpers and what Denise does, of course, with Elder Advisors, along with their team with Larry and Steve, who we've mentioned, is really give people peace of mind. Put their mind at ease, because there are so many questions, and you can answer quite a few of them from your side. They can answer quite a few on the legal side, estate side, real estate, planning, all that. So, do you find that to be true? That a lot of people, after they meet with you,
Oh, definitely.
Oh, I feel better about this whole process, right?
Right, definitely. And something else we didn't mention is long-term care. A lot of people have long-term care insurance policies, but don't realize that those long-term care insurance policies will cover home care. They think they only cover assisted living or nursing homes, but almost every policy has a rider for home care. And when we come into the home and we sit down with our clients, and see if we can help them, and there is a long-term care policy, we're able to call and help them because we know all the right questions to ask. Exactly what they will cover, what the benefit is, if there's an elimination period, just all the details.
All right.
And I'd also like to add, when it comes to the veteran aid and attendance benefit, or in a lot of the veterans benefits out there, that's what Elder Advisors can help you do. That's what we can help you qualify for. Most people are always going to be denied if they try to apply for that benefit on their own.
Everyone's heard a horror story.
Everyone has heard a horror story. Everyone is denied the first time. That's something Elder Advisors can help you qualify for. And the difference is we are going to be keeping an eye towards what could happen down the road. There are ways to qualify for these benefits immediately, but they're going to hurt you down the road if you need to qualify for Medicaid, if you eventually need to go into a nursing home. If you don't execute these rules properly to get the Veterans Aid and Attendance benefit, then you're not going to qualify for Medicaid down the road. So we're never going to do anything to help you qualify that might hinder you later.
Not to specifically point at one particular entity, but don't you find it to be true that, sometimes I think we think the state wants to help you, or Medicaid, Medicare, they want to help you. But the bottom line is they will hold on to their dollars unless you know the rules. And they're not going to volunteer the information. You've been in that seat before. You weren't allowed to volunteer the information. So that's where you guys come in. This is fantastic. This is all really good information. With Senior Helpers, I know that you all work together, but if someone wanted to contact your company, Nancy, they go via website? Do they just give you a call on the phone and talk about their particular situation?
The best thing to do is to call us on the phone. Our number is 502-690-2648. and you can ask for Nancy. And you know, the first step is to set an assessment, and you know, there's no obligation, there's no charge, and we come out to the home and sit down and just talk and figure out what the situation is and how we can help.
Denise, I think it's amazing to me that elder advisors, you know, when Larry says this, but I find it to be true now, there's really no one like what you do.
No, there's
You
not.
can go and chase particular, you know, people, okay, this guy's an elder
attorney,
for elder law. Yeah, and this person was senior help, but if you guys kind of take care of the whole package, it's more comprehensive, right?
Right, absolutely. We work with a specific real estate agent in Kentucky, Jeff Hurst, who's going to be on the show on Monday. Fancy Fulton, she's been on TV with us before in Indiana. Those are our specific real estate agents. We work with a specific accountant, Roddifer and Moss. We work with specific home health care agencies. You know, we all work together, and we are able to all accomplish a goal together as one.
So some of the best in the business, right?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, let's put the information for the workshops up on the screen one more time, if you would, please. Again, that's Monday and Tuesday, the 15th and 16th, next week. So if you have questions, you may be watching the show and go, well, my situation is different. And there will be an opportunity, as you said, Denise, for a little one-on-one meetings as well,
yes,
right?
Yes, and that's something really important to take advantage of. That's a free consultation with an attorney, a former caseworker that was a supervisor for Medicaid, and Larry Weiss, who's been doing this for 23 years, for free. Talk about anything you need to discuss. So that's why it's really important to come out to the workshops.
And he's entertaining.
Yeah, and he is beyond entertaining. So yeah, you're going to get a lot of laughs and have a big smile on your face. And you know, this is I don't want anyone to take that as he's not serious about this.
No, he is
because
serious.
you will never find a better advocate in your corner than him.
No, I think the compassion is real, yes.
And also, real quick, I just want to say hi to Lou Ann Miller. She called us yesterday. She saw Larry on the show, and she scheduled an appointment to come and meet with us. And she said she tapes this show every day.
Wow.
So, hi, Lou Ann.
You see, you guys have fan clubs. That's good. That's a good thing.